Hi guys, welcome back to Fashion School with Nick Verreos. On today's video, it's the basics of draping. And in particular, I'm going to show you how to drape a basic bodice. Okay, so when I talk to people and I say that I love draping, they think, window dressing? I'm like, no, honey, I'm talking fashion. Draping is not like window drapes, okay? So get that out of the way. This is not Carol Burnett and the Gone with the Wind Bob Mackie dress from the Drapes, okay? Draping is molding fabric on a body or a body form by creating this fluid, fashionable look. I love it. You always hear like Grecian draping. You think of the sculptures at the museum. That is draping, okay? But for today's video, it's about basic draping, and I'm going to show you how to drape a basic bodice, okay? We're going to start with the fundamentals. Now, what will you need? First, you need a form. This is a model form, fashion form. Hi. So you need one of these to drape on. You will also need pins. I like the colored pins, so you can use the colored pins. So use that. Make sure to have a ruler. I like this clear ruler, see? So you can see the numbers right there. So I like that. Also have muslin. Muslin is unbleached cotton. You're gonna use this for the draping, okay? And it's good to cut a size that is 24 long, 24 inches by 18 inches wide, okay? That's just for the basic bodice. You'll also need scissors, fabric shears, and then last but not least, something to mark on. Usually for fashion students and fashion designers or drapers, pattern makers, you want to use pencils. Number 2 is good, but I like to sometimes use Sharpies as well. Unfortunately, it marks up the form. So fashion students, don't use the Sharpies, okay? Because they're not your forms. But if they are your forms and you paid for this, go ahead. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use Sharpies so you guys can see, okay? You ready? Draping a basic bodice. So let's start with the muslin. You have your piece of muslin. Now, what we want to do is we want to pin the basic piece of muslin, this size, on the center front of the form. Here is the selvage. The selvage is the finished edge. So the first step you want to do is you want to draw a line 1 inch away from the selvage, okay? So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to take the Sharpie, take the ruler, go 1 inch away from the selvage and draw a straight line that is parallel to the selvage. This is going to mark the center front, all right? Now I'm going to bring her back in here, and here is the mark that I did 1 inch away from the selvage. So you want to pin. Now here's one mistake a lot of fashion students do when they first start draping. They want to go like this and just start right here to drape the basic bodice, but then you think, wait a minute, what about all this stuff? So you want to make sure to go a little bit higher, because if you start draping here, for example, all of a sudden you get this shoulder part forgotten. So you're going to have to like add a piece of muslin here or tape it. I've had students do that. So don't make that mistake. So when you start about neck height. So start up here, and then what you want to do is feel out the center front of the neck right there, and you want to place a pin. Now what you want to do is do it at an angle. See how I went on an angle? I went like this. I'm going to do this again so you guys can see. Watch. You want to pin at an angle. You don't want to stab it. This is another mistake that a lot of people do, is they go right here. Now you really can't. Look, it's not sticking. You want to go at an angle, just a slight angle, and that keeps it there. Another way of doing it is the sliding way, which, watch, you go like this, just slide it through, and then just go to the other end like that, see? And that keeps it there, all right? So those are 2 ways. Now what you want to do is just pin all the way down the center front. I like to pin, again, at an angle, and go about 1 inch to 1.5 inch space, but just keep pinning down the center front, okay? So here I am. I'm going to keep pinning down the center front. And that's because you want to stabilize the center front of your basic bodice. And then stop right at the waist. The waist is the bottom part of the tape, okay? So now we have the rest of the bodice. Now look what's happening here with the neck. Do you see that? That's pulling. So how do we get rid of this tension, this pull? Well, I call it the cut and ah. Why? Because why? Watch. I cut, and then I go like this, I clip, and look what happens. Look what happens. Ah, you release the tension. So I'm gonna do this again. Look, I cut, I clip, and I release the tension. See, so now it's smooth. So just pin that down. You just pin it down right here, and then at the shoulder. Just pin it. All right, there. Now, if these get annoying to you, you can trim them down just a little bit. Watch. Just trim it, okay? There you go. So now you've smoothed this. The next step now is you have all this. So what I like to do is you want to smooth over the shoulder. Do you see that? So just smooth. Never pull. When you drape, never pull. You want to smooth. Let your hands just smooth. The fabric will talk to you. So just smooth and then just pin right there at the shoulder. All right? Now the next step, smooth right here at the side seam. This is the side seam. So see, just smooth. You never want to go like this. Oh, no. No pulling. You want to just smooth it, smooth it. So just smooth to the side seam. And then again, pin, about 1 inch to 1.5 inch intervals. And you can feel the side seam on the model, right there on the form. You feel it, see? You can feel it. And then just go like that. And then one more at the waist. And there you go. Okay? So now you've got the waist. But, oh my goodness, what is all that? Well, this we turn into a dart. So with your fingers, pull right there, and then find that princess. What is the princess? The princess is when half of the body is broken into quarters. So right here, that is the princess line, and it falls right here over the apex and body. Now also notice I'm only draping on one side of the form. Why? Because if it's a symmetrical garment, meaning it's the same on the right side and on the left, you only have to drape half the garment. And we usually do it on the right side. Even if you're left-handed, you always do it on the right side. Let's get back to the dart. See all this? What do we do? How do we turn it into a dart? Feel it out. Feel it out with your fingers and then go like this. Right there at the princess, right where the bust, then just start pinning. Just start pinning. Like that. See how I'm creating the dart? And then just pin right up to the apex area, okay? And so now what you did is you folded the dart, you created that dart. Do you see that right there? That's your dart, hi, okay? So now we're almost done. Look at all this excess. Since we're doing this basic bodice that stops at the waist, you don't need all this. So watch, I cut horizontally, bye. And then you have a little bit of pulling, and what did we do before? We clipped, and we let it breathe. So clip and see, it just releases the tension. Notice a little bit of pulling right there. Do you see that? So what you want to do is you want to clip, and it releases the tension. Clip, release the tension. There you go. We're almost ready. Okay, finally, mark. I'm doing the Sharpie, but kids, don't use the Sharpie, use a pencil. You want to mark the waist, you mark it by putting little marks right there, and you can feel the waist. You can just feel it. And I mark the waist at the bottom of the tape, the side seam. You can feel it, see, right there. You mark your side seam right there. You can mark your apex with a cross, just like that. The dart, do you see that? So lightly mark your dart, just like that. You mark the dart. Okay, and then finally the neck, mark the neck, little cross marks, and then right here the shoulder, the armhole, you can feel it, feel it, feel it, come right there, and then just to clean it up quickly, cut, 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 and there we go, basic bodice right here. Thanks for watching Fashion School with Nick Verreos. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And of course, leave your comments below. And if you want more Nick tips and tricks, get my new book, A Passion for Fashion. It's available on Amazon.com right now.